Alright, so this is a build update for this character. Not really sure exactly what it can do eventually. I might change it to a Pierce build at some point. But the main skill is Righteous Fervor, with lots of weapon pull skills that can fire off. Part of the weapon pull skills is they're mostly elemental damage, so the elemental damage gets converted to physical damage, and it's a physical damage build. It's also pierce damage. I don't have any pierce damage conversion right now, like pierce to physical, unfortunately, which is one of the reasons why I'm thinking about swapping to a pierce build. As far as the gear goes, we got the fetid mask or whatever, mostly for the +1 all skills. I'm probably going to swap this out with a chosen visage at some point. I haven't unlocked that area in the game yet, for ultimate. For 8% physical res on Ascension, and crit damage. I'm running the Runestone, and I've got health and defensive ability on this. The Amulet is a circuit breaker. When I drop below 25% health, I get basically max health and then health regen. If this pops, I basically log out if I don't go up really quickly. It gives me +1 all skills to both Oathkeeper and there, and it makes Horn of Gondor do okay. Like I use Horn of Gondor for reduced damage. Skill cooldown reduction, +4 max res, all res is nice, and 16% health is nice. I haven't found a better one of these yet. 70 offensive ability. The casting speed is kind of meh, but 47% skill disruption protection and 4% chance of 65%. Like basically, if this pops, I get Ascension back immediately. And it gives +3 Righteous Fervor because it's a Gargle Ball ring. Getting the health, energy, and cunning is nice. A little bit of physical. I want a better one. I just haven't had a chance to farm that area yet. This ring is specifically for the offensive ability health and attack damage converted to health. Signal of Consumption does not help at all when it procs. Neither does the vitality damage. Gun, Superior of Alacrity. I want a better version of this, like Frenzied of Alacrity would be really good. But flat physical damage on the weapon plus the base flat physical. 49 OA, 17% attack speed, and it gives weapon damage to Righteous Fervor, which is really nice. And it makes it do kind of dot damage, actually, pretty big dot damage. I'm using Seal of Might to get more physical resistance, pierce, bleeding, and vitality resistance as well. It also converts more Aether to physical. So I've got like 50% Aether to physical and 46% Aether to elemental. I don't do any Aether damage though. And it gives me 160 health. I'm using the Coven item to get percent health, as well as physical damage. On my rings, I forgot to mention, I'm using the malmouth augment, which is flat damage, physical damage, and percent OA, which is really nice. Chest, this is just a stat stick chest. I have no good chest right now that I've seen. This gives me percent DA, which is why I have almost 3,000 health, or 3,000 DA without any buffs up. Gives me percent increased armor, which for all my armor is really nice, and almost 100 physique. The resistances are okay, and I put the Sanctified Bone on it for Vitality Chaos res, as well as for percent damage to Undead and Chthonics. And I already got percent damage from my Word of Renewal, I believe. Or no, less damage from Eldridge. The Solile Sect leg guards, any build that uses weapon damage, this is probably the best pants in the game for them because it's got attack damage converted to health base on it. I had these drop. They're not that great on physical damage, but they give me 1,000 health, 30 offensive ability, and a lot of res, as well as 33% reduced freeze duration, which puts me at freeze duration cap. Using Spell Scorch Plating for pierce res, basically pierce and elemental, but it gives me that health as well. And on both this one and this one, I'm using it to put my Aether res and poison res up. Aether res, I get it up to 37% over cap without buffs, and poison res is 32% overcap, period, because I have nothing to increase that. I got Serenity to drop in, what's it called? In, normal Shattered Realm. I think it was like 70. I think I had it drop. My 5 pushed from 65 to 70. Decent little amount of health, movement speed, Aether Chaos, +1 all skills, which is really nice. And then again, the Serenity proc, which procs at 35%, so that gives me a chance to, heal up to 45% and stay alive a lot longer until, what's it called? See if my life leech can get me back up. And, if that procs, like by the time this procs, basically it means like I've used all my circuit breakers. This is a 25% one, so it's a big proc. I got 6% health completion bonus, which was nice. I crafted 2 of these. One was like a 4% health, but it had more chaos and aether res, but I wanted the percent health more. I haven't upgraded my belt in a long time. I vendor farmed this one for the Inquisitor, because he gave me poison, elemental, and bleeding. I don't need bleeding, but I need poison and elemental, kinda. My elemental's 23 over without any buffs. And when Righteous Fervor's up, they get up to like, it's like plus 40 something percent. +1 Inquisitor's nice because I have a lot of Inquisitor skills. And I put the Ugdenbog Leather, which is DA, Poison Resist, Bleeding Resist. I don't need the Bleeding Resist, but I need the Poison Resist. And then I'm doing Poison Vitality for my augment. I'm really thinking about changing this. This is kind of trash tier for me right now. It gives me range expertise and righteous fervor, which are both really nice. And it gives me flat fire damage, which is converted to flat physical damage. But nothing, and attack speed. But nothing else really. Like, I don't need the Aether res. Fire and lightning res is nice, and the 3% max fire and lightning res is nice. But I can get that somewhere else. Though weapon range proc is actually pretty good, because it's 125% damage, weapon damage, so it adds all the flat damage, and then it's fire damage, which is all converted to physical damage. I'm using the Runebound Topaz on this one for defensive ability and health, reduced stun duration, shield block chance. I want to use another Runebound Topaz here, but my vitality is only 18% over. It might be better to use a Runebound Topaz, and then like another 9%. I'd lose 32 defensive ability and 300 health for 52 defensive ability and stun duration. It's not really worth it right now. And I'm using Wendigo Rush. I want a better glyph. This is only at the level 50 glyph. But this is basically just another dash. Like, so I've got Buyer's Might and Wendigo Rush, so I've got 2 dashes. But yeah, I haven't decided to do that. These boots, not bad. They give me Tectonic Shift, which reduces the cooldown of Buyer's Might. Rune of Callus, which I don't use. Reduced Petrified duration and reduced Freeze duration, which gives me better reduced CC. The defensive ability and physical res are the big reasons why I'm using these over some other stuff. I don't use the Ground Smash, which is basically Rune of Callister. And I could save 1 point if I started using these instead of that, but not really sure. Again, Spell Scorch Plating for Pierce and Elemental, and Vitality Poison for Mogdrogan's Touch. These, I'm not sure, about using them. The reason I'm using them right now is flat physical and attack speed. The flat physical and attack speed are really nice on these gloves, plus the 19% elemental. Component I'm also not sure about. I'm a little low on attack damage converted to health. I want 25% at least, and I'm just at that with this one, which is 3%. And I'm using the health defensive ability augment. Shoulders are not bad. Big health, percent DA, more Aether to physical, Pierce Res, increased percent armor, Righteous Fervor, and using the Ugdenbog Leather on them. Yeah, that's the gear rundown. My offensive ability is 2300, my defensive ability is 2900. This is all unbuffed damage per second. It's about 43,000. Armor rating is 2100, which is not bad. Not the best, but not bad. And I'm at 71 or 70%, because I have nothing to do for that. I have 1 point left from quest for stats, and I'm going to put it into cunning because I need more OA. And I have 2 skill points left, and I'll talk about that in a second. Attacks per second is 165%. Run speed 124%. This is without buffs, by the way. And my physical damage is plus 1,000 plus almost 1,200%, almost, with 3,000 flat damage without buffs, and 25% lifesteal. Cast speed, which is only for Inquisitor Seal, there, and nothing for pets. Doing this, no chance to block. I have 9% physical res without buffs, 47, 25, all that stuff. Looking at my stats with buffs, I don't really have that much RR. So these stay the same, but this goes up a lot, 60%, 71%. My DA is
Skill's not ready.
3,000 without Righteous Fervor, and 2,600 without Ascension, or Deadly Aim. When Deadly Aim procs or Ascension proc, I get almost 3,000, I believe. When Ascension procs, I get over 80% stun res. I believe my attack speed is the same. I have a lot more flat physical damage, like another 2,000 flat physical damage almost, and 135% run speed. And my physical resist jumps up to 33%, which is pretty big. When I pop Ascension, which is my next cooldown kind of thing, I get 2850. So I'll be close to 2,900 OA without Righteous Fervor when I get the next thing. And with my seal,
that skill's not ready.
I have a good amount of damage reduction. With Ascension, I have even more damage reduction. But yeah, my DA goes up to 3,100 when I have Righteous Fervor up, and 2,950 on top of the seal. Look at the skills. 10 points in rage expertise because I have no pierce conversion. If I had pierce conversion, or if I was going to a pierce build, I'd probably max this out. I've maxed these out at this point because I was lacking in damage despite not having pierce. Like, I lose the pierce damage on this, basically. It doesn't really help me. But the cold damage and the weapon damage are all physical. Same thing, this one's all physical. Like, bursting around is my best thing. I dropped Word of Renewal because I don't need the DA. Unless I'm already way high on DA. Still got Vigor up because flat health is really nice to have, as well as reduced freeze duration, reduced entrapment, and reduced petrify. I'm putting points right now into Steel Resolve to get more flat physical damage. I don't really need anything else from there. 16 points here for the offensive ability and physical resistance. 1 point here, which gives me 8 for the minus 16% damage. I reduced this to 12 rather than going overcapped to just have the 190 damage absorption, which is fine. 1 point in this to get flat elemental, which is physical, as well as percent damage and percent crit damage. When this procs, I get 11% offensive ability, which increases it a lot. Looking at Oathkeeper, max out this. I only went up to 13 here, which is 13%. If I could put 2 more points in here and get 15% attack speed and more DA, but I don't really need it. It also increases armor, and it's not as valuable right now. 1 point in this, it's not super useful. 15 in this for offensive ability. 10 points in this, because you get 2% per point up to 10. So it's not worth putting. Like, I could get more health by squeezing more points in there. I put 13 in here because of the flat physical it adds. I need to add 2 more points to this. I meant to add 2 more points to this. Because 2 more points gives me plus 4% max res when this goes off, which is really nice, and 7% DA, which doesn't really help. 12 points in this. I actually might drop this down to 10 to pump this up to 9. because this is not, like, it's useful, but it's not super reliable. And I'm already super tanky as it is, I just don't do enough damage. And having this circuit breaker would be nice. Because I have this circuit breaker at 66%, I have turtle shell at 50%, I have serenity at 35%, and I have my amulet at rewind time at 25%. So I have several circuit breakers. Minus 0.6 seconds to my Virus Might. I picked up Smite just to have another physical fire damage. This actually might be better to use. Like, it might actually be better to max out Smite than it is to max out the Inquisitor ones because of the Pierce. And I actually might go back and do that. The only thing is, Smite doesn't always fire both guns, I don't believe. It might. It might fire both guns, but I don't believe it always fires both guns. And I'm at 28% here. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. As we're talking, I'm thinking about dropping these down to 7, which is 20% right. And popping Smite as high as I can get it. And then we'll pop these 22%.
I sense turmoil within you.
There. Okay, so I lose a little bit of flat damage with that. And I gain more damage with that. And Smite deals a crap ton more damage with physical fire damage. As well as chance to stun. Has a high chance to be used too. I still run out of energy pretty often, so I actually do have to use energy pots with this build. Well, looking at my devotions, I have the turtle for circuit breaker, again because I'm playing hardcore and never really played hardcore before. My resource, my reduction. I need to take Viper. That's, I think I have too many blues anyway. I only need 10 blues. So if I take Viper instead of this, I need to find a point somewhere else that I can take off. Defensive ability, attack speed, cast speed, I could probably reduce that. Or, yeah, I've got to reduce a point somewhere. But I need Viper's percent reduced elemental. Oh, it's elemental res, never mind. I'm mistaken. Anyways, the maul here is 20% chance to attack. It's 35% converted health. It's on the Inquisitor seal. So basically, when I face tank things and things come on my seal and it hits, there's like every time it procs a little bit of damage on them, all 3 of them have a chance to proc this. It does pretty big damage. Heals me a bit. Not so bad. This gives me a lot of defensive reduction. This, yeah, it just does a lot of damage and reduces their offensive ability, which is, again, increasing my defensive ability, and gives them impaired aim, which is really nice. I use this right now for reduced flat reduced resistances rather than scales. And I'm not sure, I should probably actually swap to scales. Like, I've been debating on that right now, recently. But I need the Vitality Res from Vulture, and the Vitality Res from this, so it's kind of, I'd have to get Vitality Res somewhere else. Frog to get purple and green, and it gives me attack damage converted to health. And that's basically it. Of course, Hydra for any range build, attack damage converted to health, attack speed, all damage, attack speed. Flat physical damage. Yeah, Hydra's really good. Yeah, that's the current build. That's how it's looking at right now, 100. I'll have 1 more point in cunning and 2 more points somewhere else in the build.
What troubles you? Stay strong.
Yeah. So that's the current build. I'll see y'all next time. and thanks for watching.